7:38 Tuesday morning, a little overcast, a little bit of sunshine too as well. It's hopefully another warm day. But what do you do on a warm day if you work for the DOT? Pete has all the answers for us. What do you do?
Depends on what your position is, Jay. It's
You know
not
what?
like we just have one job.
You know what? I've been doing a lot of traveling here recently, and I'm telling you, you know what needs to be fixed?
What's that?
Well, I called you this last week, Pothole Pete.
It's that time of year. It happens every year. It's weird. I think every March I hear this from you. Nothing changes.
When you're pulling a trailer or you're even just driving, I mean, you got to weave in and out of those things so you're not messing up your front end alignment.
It happens every time of year, or every year this time of year in the Midwest, and they've been out filling potholes for probably 6 weeks when the weather allows them to do it, and they'll continue. And it's, like we said, the material they put in right now, it's not built to stay. It's just not with the weather, with the way it is made. It just won't stay as well as it will in a few weeks when we get warmer temperatures and we can use more of a hot mix material. So yeah, people need to be aware of it. It's spring in the Midwest. It's going to happen. You need to be aware of it, and we'll do what we can.
Pete, you sound a little frustrated with me.
I'm not frustrated with you. I'm just repeating and repeating. No, believe me, we get it. And that's why it's a priority for us. Those guys are out in some conditions that probably aren't the best and out on the road dealing with traffic weaving in and out and around them. And they're doing what they can to get it taken care of, and they'll continue to. So, but again, we need drivers' help too. They need to be aware of it. They need to pay attention and just be aware that it's that time of year and there are going to be potholes. Unless you want to move to Arizona or Texas or Florida where you don't get any freeze thaw cycles, you're going to have to deal with it, unfortunately.
They even get them down in Tennessee.
Oh, do they really?
Oh yeah, I've been there. Hit a few big ones.
Yeah, no, I've never been to Tennessee. I've been to Arizona and Florida, and it's crazy how smooth their roads are.
Right, exactly. Yeah, Minnesota's not the greatest either.
No, they don't have quite the freeze thaw issue we do. I mean, southern Minnesota definitely does, but the further north you get, it stays pretty cold all winter. But it still takes a toll on it. The winter, we talk about everything. If you have your vehicle that sits outside, your sidewalks, whatever it is, winter's hard on things, and that includes the roadways. So it's a transition period, and we will do what we can.
Yeah, how many potholes do you have to have before you go, you know what, we got to resurface this?
It's not an exact number, but it's definitely something we look at, because you get to the point too where, like you just touched on, the surface of the road gets to be deteriorating so much that you just can't keep up. And if you're going to resurface it too, you also want to get to it before if there's concrete underneath, before that base starts getting bad. And then resurfacing really doesn't fix the problem. It will for a little bit, but if that base is bad, that stuff's just going to work its way back up through the top. So that's where you look at the difference between resurfacing or reconstruction, where you completely tear it out and start over. But yeah, it's a big budgeting game. It's a thing that you look at, you weigh the needs, you weigh the traffic, you weigh the budget, and try to make the best decisions for the best product.
That's our latest update with Pothole Pete.
There you go. And I'm guessing I'll hear about it again next week, won't I?
I'll probably forget, Pete. Hey, Jay, we talked about that last week. Okay, let's move forward.
Oh, it's like I said, it's that time of year, and I know it's frustrating. It is frustrating, but it's something we're working at. We are actually, I think I've mentioned this before too, we are using a different type of material this year that stays a little bit better than most of the cold mix has been in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's still not perfect, but it is helping. And we're always looking for new ways that are both economically feasible and practical. So we'll keep working at it.
So wrapping up on the winter months, the plows still, the trucks still got the plows on them, right? All of them, or are they off now?
I haven't been down there lately, but I believe the majority of them still have the plows on. We've talked about it before. It's not uncommon to get a several-inch snowfall late March or even early April. The good thing is with some of these small snowfalls that we get this year, especially now looking at the temperatures this week, that the ground temperatures, the road temperatures are warm enough where a lot of it will melt before it becomes an issue. So It's not not getting out there immediately like if it was 5 or 10 degrees, but we know it can still happen. So yeah, we're still ready. We will keep them ready and be out there as necessary. The big thing now is the construction projects are really getting close. In fact, if things go well, Friday things will be in head to head at the Floyd Interchange project. The westbound lanes will be shut down by Friday, again, if weather holds and everything goes well. So be aware of that. They're actually out there working this week, these last few days. They've started yesterday getting traffic control in place, and they'll be painting the roads so they can guide people through the intersection as we start constructing the bridge and the highway in the new westbound lanes.
Well, there you go. Another summer of filled fun there at Floyd.
It went really, really well last year, and I
Yeah.
hate to even say that. I don't want to jinx it because it went so well, and we really appreciate everybody who uses that road, all the drivers who use that road, because again, it was very successful, and we hope for the same this year. And it's the same old story. Pay attention when you go through the work zone. Slow down and give yourself extra space between the vehicle in front of you, because if they slow down quickly, you have an opportunity to react. So keep those things in mind. It's the basics that are going to keep you safe and keep things flowing smoothly.
Yeah, and keeping the workers safe too that are out there. Now, do you remind us about some of the fines? Cell phone.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, what are some of the other ones besides the cell phone? Besides speeding too.
Well, fines for all moving violations, distracted driving, I guess, reckless driving, whatever. All moving violations are double in work zones. Fines for speeding are even higher than that. I don't have the exact breakdown, but if I remember correctly, the lowest ticket you can get financially, money wise, is $150, I think, in a work zone. The highest is $1,000, and that is 25 or 26 miles per hour over the speed limit in a work zone, and happens every year, multiple times every year. If you follow any of the state patrol or maybe the DOT motor vehicle officers on Facebook or Twitter, even the local sheriff's departments, you'd be amazed how often you see them post pictures of their radar. They have a vehicle stopped for going, well over 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's even in a work zone. And they might even put a picture of the ticket on there without the name on it. And
Right.
when you have the speeding fine, the court costs, all the other fees, it's like $1,400-$1,500 minimum.
Wow.
So yeah, it's not worth it
Right.
whatsoever.
And another thing you got to think about too. I don't know what happens, but you could call Mason City All Risk Insurance and ask Dave and the crew about what happens to my insurance if I had to get something like that.
I'll bet I know the answer.
Do you?
It goes way up.
Yeah.
And I'm not even an insurance guy.
Yeah, right. But Dave and the whole crew there at Mason City All Risk Insurance, they could give you a whole lowdown on what's going to happen to your insurance, when anything like that happens. So keep your eyes open. I noticed a couple of motorcycles were out here in Iowa yesterday, and over the weekend it was warm temperatures, so they're back out and about on the roadways.
Yes, they are. I've seen a couple over the past week or so. And my wife was telling me yesterday that she saw a whole bunch of them. So yeah, they're getting antsy too. So be aware, and be aware of kids running around, the fresh air, the warmer temperatures. They get excited and start playing, and we all know kids don't always pay attention the way they should. So you got to take responsibility as well when you're driving to make sure that you're aware of that, especially driving around schools or in neighborhoods like that. So it's a busy time of year. It's an exciting time of year, but be aware because there's a lot going on.
You can tell Pete's all giddy because he gets his little Suzuki 350 out and start riding around again. Is that what you got?
Something similar.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I have to be the first to admit I am not that guy who gets out at 45 degrees. I have been bundled up all winter long, and it finally gets to a temperature where I can be outside in a long sleeve t-shirt. I'm not going to get all bundled up again so I can ride a motorcycle. I can wait a few weeks and I'll be fine.
So you're a fair weathered rider. Okay, Pete.
Oh, I think I've got some pictures that'll prove differently on that one as well.
Well, Pete, thanks for reminding us to stay safe and everything out there on the roadways. All right.
You bet. And this is a really big time of year to monitor 511ia.org and the 511IA app because these construction projects are going to be getting going. And that's your most up to date source of where they're going to be, when they're going to be starting, and what kind of traffic impacts you'll see.
Yeah, it's minute by minute too, isn't it?
Excuse me, go ahead.
It's minute by minute, right?
Well, they will keep it updated. Things don't change in a work zone minute by minute unless
Well,
there's
no.
some type of incident. But yeah, no, it's refreshed all the time, and
Yeah.
we're submitting stuff to it to be added as soon as we get the solid starting dates. And that's the other thing too. Remember too, it's early. Weather can change things, delay things. So if it says it's going to start on April 3rd and work doesn't start till April 5th, things are fluid. But we're going to
Yeah.
try to make sure that we get it on there at least a heads up before it starts. So be ready for that.
So we do this on Tuesdays. We get the Iowa DOT update with Pete Helmstead. And of course, the video is posted on our website, 987kisscountry.com. And in case you missed it, we have the thing scrolling across the bottom about the mobile app and the website that you definitely want to have. And every state's got it. So if you're going to be traveling to Minnesota, you can go to 511mn.org.
You got it. They're very helpful.
Yes, they are. If I'd ever use it right, then my wife wouldn't yell at me.
Yeah. Seems to be a pattern here, Jay.
Right, exactly. Person don't listen to Pete. Well, Pete was talking about that. I said, "You listen? Wow."
Well, I'm very impressed and flattered.
And then my wife listens to it, and I don't.
Yes.
Yeah. Then of course, when you're dealing with roadways or anything like that, especially in the waters this summer, as we get to warmer temperatures, Mason City All Risk Insurance, they can insurance about everything. I think from combines to Jeeps to motorcycles to jet skis, anything. So check that out.
Gotta have.
That's right. Pete, have yourself a wonderful rest of the week. All right.
All right, you do the same. Thanks, Jay.
That's the good stuff.